Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gems of Life show. My name is Fadwa, your host. I truly hope you're able to subscribe to our channel. Please go to our YouTube channel, the Gems of Life show, subscribe, like, comment, and share so others can benefit from the message. Listen to us every Friday on CKMS Radio, Waterloo 102.7 FM. And as always, I am joined by amazing, fantastic guests every single week. And today, I have a very special guest with us today, my sister, Najah. Najah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sister Fadwa. I really appreciate you inviting me to your show. I'm really so happy to see you here. And really would like to share with you things about my third book, which is a cookbook.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm just honored for you to be here and share with us. You said your third book, so you have written 2 other books?
Yeah, I have 2 other books, but only poetry. This time is different. This one, it's a project for my DTM to benefit the community. And the community, actually, it's our woman interval home of Sarnia, Lambton. They help all cultures in town. So I thought the book is towards cooking, and most people cook who they are women. Men, they cook also, but mostly women love cooking. So I thought this is a good benefit to the woman interval home, as well as young people who love to cook and they like to cook Middle Eastern food.
You know, just looking from the picture on the background, I'm just like, you got me salivating. I'm getting hungry here. So you mentioned something, poetry and recipes. And for your new book, what inspired you to come up with that concept, actually?
For almost a year, I was thinking, because I'm heading toward my DTM, what is the project can benefit the community as well as benefit me as a poet. And I'm good in 2 things, writing poetry and cook. I love cooking. I always experiment. Since I came to Canada, I've been cooking. I learned to cook Chinese, Italian, Indian, Japanese, even I cook Thai food. So Canada is famous with its multicultural, and people, they experiment with these foods. And I love to taste other food. They're all delicious. But mostly I cook in my home, Lebanese food, Jordanian, and Turkish. So all these they are similar with different ingredients, but mainly I cook in my house, Lebanese food, which all people, they love and adore in this country.
Oh, absolutely. Middle Eastern food, you can't go wrong with that. And, you know, it's so true. You said Canada is a multicultural country. And in that, there's so many variety when it comes to food. But I also know when it comes to Middle Eastern, you have so many variety of different ingredients and different recipes that you can eat. It's interchangeable, right? But you also mentioned something for those who are not familiar with what DTM is. I know what it is. You know what it is. We are Toastmasters and we know what DTM is. For those who are not familiar with what DTM is and that inspiration behind it to be able to actually write a book, not just any book, a recipe book with a poem, and share with the community and make a huge difference in the community as well as benefit you in the process. Do you mind just explaining that to our listeners, please?
The DTM, it's distinguished Toastmaster, and it's a dream for most of Toastmasters to reach that. When you reach to that level, that means you are great in speaking and leadership. I'm good in speaking and leader because I was leader with so many things during my life. But this organization, it offers so much for people to learn to be better speakers and better leaders. And that's the level, it's almost been my dream for the last 4 years. to be distinguished Toastmaster, what they call it, DTM.
Wow, thank you for explaining that to our listeners. To all our listeners, you can just go into Toastmasters International and you'll be able to get more information as to what our sister Najah is talking about. And you can actually join. So I looked at the recipe. What is one of the ingredients that is the number one thing? I know you have your family, but if you had somebody calling you or reading your book, what would be the first ingredient they would actually go back to and say, you know what, I'm going to try that out?
The most ingredient we use in our recipe is 7 spice. 7 different spices, and they mix them together and they put them in a container or in a jar or in a plastic. And we buy them from the Eastern places where you can buy the Middle Eastern food. Usually we go to London to do that, but even in town, we have a bulk barn that has most of these, but it doesn't have the 7 spices. You can buy each one of these 7 spices, put them together, mix them, and keep them aside, either outside or inside the fridge to use later on. And each recipe, I put the ingredients like from scratch, what's in that ingredient, if they can't find it on stores, to make it easier on people. But the best way to do it is buy that jar or buy it from online, from Amazon. And then they can have, it's not just 1 serving, because you need from 1/4 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, not more than that in the recipes. But I have in my book, page 45, I have where they can buy these ingredients or spices from stores in town or from London or from online. So it's easy for people where to find these spices. But most of the spices I checked, they are at bulk barn. All bulk barns in Canada, they carry all 99% of these spices.
Thank you. Now, some of the recipes that you shared, how did you figure out what poem goes with the recipe? How did you figure that out?
The poem, it has to do with the recipe. I can give you an example.
Yes,
my first poem is the yogurt. I know that people, they love yogurt and they eat it with either plain or they eat it with fruit. The kids, and I met so many families, Syrian, the yogurt is on the table in every meal. And we can even make a yogurt drink from it. But for the yogurt, for instance, I call it, the heading for that poem or verse called in Arabic Leban, in English called yogurt. White as snow, sour, countless bacteria, fight against harmful organisms. So people, they can read the poem, and if they like it, so they'll go ahead and they do their recipe. And I would like to share with you a recipe that I really like the best. It's Arabic salad on my page on 23. I called it Salta Arabia, Arabic salad. Tomato sat with the cucumber. The mint screamed. Lemon juice, olive oil, and salt stood by until the onion released its smell. All vegetables jumped in the dish and hugged each other.
Oh, wow.
So when people read the poem, that makes them, you know what, that tastes very good, the way I do it. So they go ahead and they make the recipe. But I know this book, I made it for Canadian because I've been here 34 years. So over the years, I've been sharing my food with my neighbors, with my friends, and they love the Middle Eastern food. They love our food. So I looked and I did research what people eat most. So most people they eat, so I put it in my book. So I thought, I don't want to write a book that people they want to eat, but I want people to eat and try. To tell you the truth, friends of my son, they They did first the shawarma chicken, and they loved it. And they sent the picture for my son, and he sent it to me. So young generation, they eating more healthy food, and Middle Eastern food is the healthiest among all because they have low salt, low fat, and low sugar. We use a lot of olive oil in our food, and olive oil is, of course, the healthiest among all the oils.
Yes, that's true, actually. There's a lot of greens, there's a lot of salads, parsley. I think it's one of the ingredients.
Tabbouleh is lots
right?
of, yeah.
Yes.
Tabbouleh has lots of parsley. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's good for the kidney.
Mm.
Yeah, then people they used to say, my mom used to say, eat lots of tabbouleh because it has lots of parsley, and parsley, it cleans the kidney. They won't have the stones. So these days, people, they go and they steam the parsley, or they boil it a little bit, and they drink the water to get out of the stones. But I said, I don't need to do that. I do tabbouleh and eat it at least once a week. So there you go, lots of, but in a nice, tasty dish. And I show you the picture for that tabbouleh. It looks so nice.
Oh, that looks really good. What's in there?
In tabbouleh, there is bulgur, lemon juice, tomato, parsley, fresh mint. If you want, because this is optional, green onion is optional, and cucumber is optional. Usually I put all these three. The parsley just made of parsley, cracked wheat, lemon, salt, and olive oil. But I put, if I have fresh or dried mint, I put that. I put the onion, and I put cucumber, and of course it has tomatoes. But when you mix it together and you put it there, it's so delicious. It's so good. Especially we make the tabbouleh with the barbecue stuff like shawarma, like shish tawush, shish chicken, shish beef, shish meat, so shish kebab. So we eat as a side dish the tabbouleh. And in my poems, I put what you eat with this dish as a side dish, so people, they know if this dish, it needs rice, or it needs salad, or needs what next to it as a side dish.
That's a really interesting way of, basically, you know, somebody can prepare their meal for the entire week. They get their main meal all the way to their dessert. So tell me about, you know, for those who have a sweet tooth, you have some ingredients in there as well, or recipes, if I may say so.
Yeah, I have. Well, people, you know how people, my husband, he loves the rice pudding, and I like the milk pudding. Canadian, they know about the rice, but they cook it, I think, in the oven, but we cook it on the stove. And the way we cook it is completely different than Canadian, but it's so delicious because the ingredients inside it, it's so good. The rice pudding, it's so easy. You only need 3/4 cup shot of medium grain white rice, 3.5 cups milk, 1/2 cup sugar, and you can put sugar less if you want. But usually I don't put that. 1/2 cup is not much. And then I put the steps, how you do it. You bring milk, like I said, in a non-stick saucepan, bring milk and rice to boil over low heat. Then when the mixture thickens, add sugar and mix well. Remove from heat and pour into small dishes. Sprinkle with ground cinnamon if desired. So I give them hints what to put on top of it. So, and I said, it's in Arabic called ruz bil halib, which is rice pudding. So the poem for it is sugar in white milky water where rice swims, thickening. Because, you know, when you cook it, it becomes thick. Otherwise, you don't eat it. It's not rice pudding. Same thing with the milk pudding. The milk pudding is so easy to make. And this one, it has so many things to do with it. Like if we need only 4 cups milk, half cup sugar, 5 to 6 tablespoons cornstarch. You pour the milk, sugar, and cornstarch, and then you dissolve them. Then you cook on low heat, and then they become thick. And then you pour in small cups or Pyrex glass pan, and you cool it. And then you garnish it with coconut flakes or ground cinnamon, or you can put orange blossom water on it. It tastes so good that way. So in Arabic, we call it mahallabiyya. The cornstarch hugs the milk. Sugar melts. Heat bubbles. Coconut flakes and cinnamon sit on top.
You okay? Would you like some water? You know, as you're sharing your stories, it's just a creative way to engage with your readers. You know, it's not your typical cookbook where you can just go in, and sometimes they can be very boring. I think I only owned in my lifetime 1 cookbook. And thank goodness now everything is on YouTube. Is this something that you're looking for as well right now, to expand your cooking, you know, going from the book and showing actually people how to do it? Because there are people who are more visualizers. They prefer to actually see the recipes. I'm more of a visualizer. I want to see you doing it. Is this something that you're looking forward to, maybe even expanding to that now?
Yeah, really. I bought few things, machines, they call them for recording. I haven't tried them yet. I did record on my cell phone how to do the fish, the fried fish, and the salad that has in it to go with the fish as a side dish. So I'm trying now to put my stuff on YouTube, because one of my son's friends, he said, it will be really nice if you put them on YouTube, then people, they can see how you do it there. And that's my next step, actually, to put I start with the recipes in this book first, and I'll go from there and see how that will go. But yes, I need to do it on YouTube, then people, they can see me how I do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a huge difference for sure. I know It's time consuming, but I think once people see it, they'll be like, okay, you know, actually they can go step by step with you.
Yeah, I'm going to learn how to upload my stuff on YouTube and how to engage the voice with what I'm doing and the writing, because I don't know how these things done, but I think we can learn. I learned how to do books because the first book, a friend from the writers, she did it for me and she showed me. So my second and third book, I did it myself. So the production is all mine, except even the photos I took. But a friend of my son from Chicago, he did the background. It's like a stone. It looks like I'm cooking it on the stone, so which is nice photos. Yeah. So it's really I'm really happy with the work. I know it took me time because I have to make sure there is no error spelling or grammar or all that stuff. But it turned out really, I'm happy with the way it turned out.
I'm happy for you. I'm truly happy for you to see you succeed in that area. I understand that you live in Sarnia and you have something going on also. You said, you know, you have the community that you're helping, the women's community. Do you mind just sharing that with our listeners, please?
In Sarnia, I've been since 2016, I've been helping the Syrian families to settle in town. They need lots of interpretation and translation. And actually this morning, I was at the office and I had this call. And then they said, oh, I have an appointment with my mom. Would you please help me translate for my mom? And then a lady came and she said, because I told her she doesn't want to go to the store to buy the book. She said she want to come pick it from me. And my house is a little bit away from downtown. And our office is near downtown. So I thought it's the best for her to come and get up from, where I work, from my work. So she came. So I said, I told my husband, can you finish this call with interpretation, and then I'll come back after I give the lady, because she said she wanted me to sign her the book. Then I finished and I came back. So I do lots of volunteering with the Syrians, mostly interpretation, and then translation, like paperwork. And when they have appointment with the doctor, they call me on the phone and I translate. So I do lots of that.
Oh, that's amazing. It's good to give back to the community, and Canada is huge on promoting volunteerism and being active in our community. Yes. So thank you for doing that. There is now, the proceeds. You're selling the book, and you mentioned that 50% of that proceed goes to an organization. Do you mind just sharing that with our listeners as well, please?
Every book since I started my first book, 50% goes to the one of organization who help people. Canada is being so generous to us since we came. So this is a little give back to the country who hold us and make us their citizens. So in return, this is a little gift from me to share with the community. And my first book, it was for the Cancer Association. And the second one was for the diabetes. This one is for the women in Temple Home of Sarnia. I know it's not just Canadians, they go to the home. Even people from my country, from the Arab country, they were there. I know a few of them, they were there. And they helped, and I said, you know what? They help all kinds of culture. Among them is Arabs. So why can I help? And I contacted them and I told them, and they were so appreciative for that. And I'm really, really happy that I could give back to the community where I live.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Knowing that there are people who actually need assistance and they have that support, but also you helping them in that support. It's the generosity, right? All of us that have a role in playing. And like you said, we're in this beautiful country, that's been so generous to everyone, accommodating everyone here, making them, come to this country with open arms. And what is it that we can do to give back? What are the things that we can do? It doesn't have to be something huge, right? It's whatever it is that we can do within our capacity, and we can make that impact in our own communities. So I'm actually happy to hear that. And I know your community is very, very lucky to have you.
It's a small city. We have maybe 75,000 people, but I mean, everybody knows everybody, and people, they are really generous, great, they are good, they have good hearts, and they give lots of help, because we are the border, we are city border with US. Fort Huron River is next to us, St. Clair River actually. And it's lovely to be here in the summer, because all of you will go walk on there to see the river and watch the ships go by.
I think Sarnia is going to be on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah. wherever you are in this area, come and visit me. You can stay with me.
I am not only just coming, I'm going to bring a bucket and containers to take food with me back home.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be coming and telling you, Najah, prepare the food for 1 week for me. I'm coming.
Okay, I will.
So what's your next now?
It's a pleasure to cook for you.
Yes, I'll be honored.
I can do that. When I did this book, this picture you've seen, I spent 7 days. Every day I cook 3 recipes or 4. Every day, and my husband was so happy. He said, wow, I live in paradise. He loves the cooking. He said, can you do this every day? I said, no, I'm just doing it for the book. And my son said, Mom, you have to do all of the recipes picture. I said, it's too much, because it's very costly with the print. Because the print is so, so expensive when it have colors in the book. And I have, these recipes. I mean, the photo for the recipe, some of them, not every, I have 5 chapters. Every chapter I have 2 or 3 pictures for the recipes inside. But then I use the first one in the chapter. Is like yogurt. Yogurt was in the first page, chapter 1, and then it was first recipe behind that page. It's the yogurt, and it's so easy. People they can't make it at home. They don't even to boil it because it's already pasteurized in the factory. They need to warm it up, put the yogurt, the plain yogurt, mix it, cover it. If they did it at night, the second day it will be ready. So it's so easy. It's quick. That's why my book is Quick and Easy, because it is quick and easy.
Yes, absolutely.
They wanted to stay all day doing the meal. It's done right? Within 10, 15
Yeah, I think gone are those days where you actually spend hours in the kitchen cooking, right?
I used to.
And with technology.
I used to spend like Christmas Day. I used to be all day in the kitchen doing the turkey and the vegetables and all that stuff. Now, I don't have turkey because we are a small family now. We are 3. So I do a chicken, I stuff it. And actually, I put it, nowadays, I use Instant Pot. And I love my Instant Pot.
Oh, yes.
I love them so much. They are so easy. I try to do the book with Instant Pot. And Najah said to me, Najah, not everybody has the Instant Pot. So to do it the old way. I was going to do it because I was so fond of Instant Pot, and it doesn't take much time, and it's delicious food and more nutrition. But maybe one of my books will be about Instant Pots.
Yes,
I do my yogurt in it.
Okay.
There's a button. You put it, you press it. I don't boil it. I just if I want lots of fat in the top, I boil it because you need that top to be a little fatty. What do you call it? If you boil it, then you have this in the top. It makes it so creamy. But if you don't need the creamy, so I just warm it, put yogurt, it warm by itself. The second day it's done. Then I put it in the fridge to use for, and from the yogurt, you put salt on it, mix it, put it in a cheesecloth, and you have the yogurt spread. And you put olive oil, and that's my second one in the yogurt recipe. You put olive oil, and you put dried mint or fresh mint, and you eat it with either pita bread or crackers, or even you put it with the vegetables. And you have, if you eat it with crackers or bread, you can use, you can have as a side a cup of tea. It's so delicious. And of course, green olives or black olives next to it. It's yummy, yummy, yummy. And that's what we give our kids to school. We put the yogurt spread in the bread, and we make it like a sandwich. And we put like inside, we put mint, olives, green olives, and we wrap it and put it for them to eat for lunch at school. It's very delicious, very healthy, and it's good for them. Don't have to eat something not good for their bodies.
Yeah, and it's a simple recipe, right?
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I taught my neighbor when I came to Sarnia. I taught her, I brought yogurt. Then I said, I have a strainer, you strain the noodles. And I put paper towel. Like I put it, it came in, I said to her, do you have yogurt? She gave me this container, yogurt, plain yogurt. So I put salt on it and I mixed it together. And I said, do you have a napkin or paper towel? Then she put the strainer and she put a pot beneath. And then it became yogurt spread. She said to me, I saw her a couple of months ago. She works at my eye doctor. She said, Najah, remember the yogurt spread? I said, yes. She said to me, I still make it. I love it. She said,
wow.
I told her to do that and she loves it. Yeah.
I have never tried that. I just eat yogurt as is straight from the container.
but if you put salt in it, like even if you buy the from the market, the Greek yogurt or the green, it has a green outside. It's full-bodied yogurt. So you put salt in it, and then you put it. If you don't have to have a cheesecloth, you can do it on paper towel, and then cover it with the saran wrap, whatever. After a few hours, like you can say 5 hours, 6 hours, became so, and you can make it. We make it on balls sometimes, and we put it in olive. We pickle it in olives, so it lasts so many months that way. But because it doesn't last a week, so I put it in a small container, cover it. Then whenever I eat, take it out, put olive oil, and I beat the bread in it, and I eat it. And next to it, a cup of tea. Oh my God, English tea is so good with it.
I'm going to try that.
And we use mint in the tea. We put because I have mint in my garden, like fresh mint, so I put that. And for the winter, I always dried my mint, and I put not cracked mint. I put it whole mint leaves. That way, I dry it, and I put it in the tea when I need it. So it's there for me in the winter, because I don't have that fresh mint in winter time.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to try that yogurt. I don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm going to try it out.
It will come out right.
I'm going to give it a try.
Did I send you I think I sent you the whole book. I sent it to you. Look at the page where you see yogurt spread. It's there. You have it.
Okay. I'm going to give it a try.
You have the whole book.
Thank you.
She said, lady from the French, she sent it to me to brew. So I thought to share it with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You have this cover in one, but then you have the whole book in one, in one PDF.
Yeah.
No. All the recipes there. So you just
look at
them and you see them there.
I'm going to try tabbouleh, and I'm going to try whatever you have there. Each week I'll try it, and I'll let you know.
I'll try it, and please let me know. I like to know how that goes, how that turns out.
Yes.
Yeah, I was happy that one of my, my son friends, he tried the shawarma chicken, and he loved it. He said, "It tastes so good." I said, "I'm glad." The only thing he couldn't find sumac. And I said, "Oh, I should have told you to tell him it's in page 45. That's why I mentioned it today. Because people, they don't go through the whole book. They want to do whatever they like, and that's it. But I said, I should mention, because people, it's nice to have sumac. So he said, "What is the sumac?" He said, "Lemon." You can use lemon. It will be, because it's sumac for that taste. It's like a lemony taste. You know how people.
Where do you find sumac? You can find it at Balkban as well?
At Balk Barn. And last year, 2 years ago, I found it here in town, actually, on the streets. And I went and collected, because the Syrian knows which one is poison and not poison. I went and so I collected from the trees in the park, and I dried it, and I'm using it right now. So it's not poison. I don't know why people think it's poison. They're not poison. It has this color. They're not poison. Like it's like this, and it's like this color. But the poison, it has gray color. So that's the poison one. It's different.
Okay.
But we have so much sumac, and sumac in our country is so expensive. But the best way to do it is buy it from the Balk Barn, because they have it there.
Okay.
I use it even with chicken. I have a recipe in the book. It is musakkan. Musakkan, it's a baked chicken cold. But everybody tell me, what you put in that is so good. So I decided to put that one in my book, because that dish is so good.
And you put sumac on that as well?
A lot of sumac. Yes, that takes most sumac ever. But it tastes so good.
So at Balkban, do they have it in leaf, in the form of leaf?
It's ground. They ground it. Okay. They have it ground.
Okay.
They have the ground.
Okay.
And you buy as much as you want. So you fill these bags how much you need. Usually with for the chicken here, let me check the chicken here where they are. The chicken, I want to see how much sumac for the recipe. Fresh 30 whole chicken, cut into 8 pieces, or 4 whole chicken legs, 1 fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1 teaspoon salt, half a teaspoon black pepper, a quarter teaspoon nutmeg, quarter teaspoon cinnamon, 2 tablespoons sumac. So it's not much actually. 4 tablespoon ground, then another, this one was something different. Then 5 tablespoon ground sumac. So that means 5 tablespoon and 2 tablespoon, that's 7 tablespoon altogether. And I said exactly how they, because usually you do the chicken with lemon and sumac and all these herbs. You bake it first, then you bring it out, and then you do the sumac with the 5 tablespoon with the onion. You chop the onion and you fry it with olive oil and pine nuts if you want. And then you put the 5 tablespoon on it. And because when you bake the chicken, comes lots of water. You put the chicken in another tray and put the onion with the sumac and pine nuts on top of it. Or you put it in pita bread and bake it in the oven. And you serve it that way. Or in the Mexican bread, the tortilla, the big tortilla. You put that, you put chicken, you put the onion with sumac and pine nuts, wrap it, put it in the oven because it has olive oil, lots of olive oil. Take it out and you take with it plain yogurt because it has so much oil in it. So the yogurt, it gets out, it absorbs the oil. Like it's not too much oil, good for your stomach, but the yogurt, that's why you need yogurt as a side dish to eat with it.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. So how do people get a hold of your book then?
Usually through my email, which is Najah, my name, najah137@hotmail.com. They can transfer me the money under my email, najah137@hotmail.com, or they can have it at the bookkeeper, but they have to pay for the shipping. Usually with me, to make easy on people, it's $20 each book, and I send it. It costs me $5 to send it by mail to the people to their own door. So I don't charge people. So as if I'm selling it with $15, not $20. But people in Sarnia, they can get it from me, or I can give it to their home. But if people outside Sarnia, then there's 2 ways to do it. Either through me and I send it by mail to their own door, or from the bookkeeper of Sarnia.
Wow, thank you so much.
And the bookkeeper, their email is, they can contact them through www.sarniabookkeeper.com. And it's there.
Okay, wonderful. Do you mind just repeating to the email for Sarnia Bookkeeper, so at least they have that information, and your email as well?
My email is my first name, as you see in front of me, Najah Shuqair. So Najah, NAJAH137@hotmail.com. And from the bookkeeper is SarniaBookkeeper.com. Sarnia Bookkeeper is one word. .com.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in and sharing, your cookbook and the poems and the fun stories. And you know what? I can't wait to hear about your second book and the delicious recipes that you're going to be cooking off the Instapot. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Yes, and the air fryer, maybe all that. I cannot wait to hear that because I use most of my cooking. I use that. I don't stand for an hour now, 2 hours cooking. So thank you so much, Sister Najah, for coming here and sharing your journey with us when it comes to your book. I hope to all our listeners, please support our sister here. You know what? Go just directly to the Sarnia Bookkeeper. That way she doesn't incur the charges for shipping the book directly to you, because then she's losing a little bit of money there. I suggest go in and support her fully, order the book, connect with, the bookkeeper, Sarnia Bookkeeper, and they'll be able to ship the book to you. And the proceeds, 50% of that goes for a greater cause. So support our sister by supporting the greater cause as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Najah, any last words before we close off?
I would like to thank you, Fadwa, for this informative, passion, and caring program you have here. I'm really happy that we connect together, and I'm happy to live in such a healthy, kind, generous country as Canada. So we all here belong to one nation, and we are all Canadian. Thank you, Sister Fadwa, for your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure is mine to be on your show.
Pleasure to have you on the show. Pleasure to have you here. So everyone else, please, 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 you've listened in to this. If you need to go back and listen to it, there's tons of stuff here that you can benefit from. Support our sister. Follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Gems of Life Show, coming to you weekly basis. This is Fadwa signing out, The Gems of Life Show. Till next week, stay well and safe. Remember, aspire to inspire. Take care, everyone.